The Premier League match week 1 has ended. The Big Six clubs had a hit and a miss, where most of them starting their Premier League campaign with a win, others either had a draw or a loss. What are the stats that have been broken? How has the Fantasy Premier League treated me? And what are the latest transfer rumors that are happening right now? So, welcome to Football Pundit, and without any further ado, let's get started. So with the game week 1 ending, let's look at the fixtures and how were the results. So Manchester United took on Fulham at Old Trafford. They started their campaign with a win, with Joshua Zirkzee scoring the crucial goal for them at the 87th minute, assisted by Garnacho. Joshua Zirkzee was also announced the man of the match for the thing. It was a very crucial goal for them that gave Manchester United the 1-0 victory over Fulham. They have started their campaign with a win, so they look good. Now let's look at Liverpool. Liverpool have also started their campaign with a win, with Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah scoring in the second half. The first half they were a bit slow and things were not looking that good for Liverpool, but in the second half they really stepped up, and with Jota scoring the first goal for them, assisted by Salah, and then Salah scoring the next, which broke the record, and now he is the first player with the highest amount of goals or assists in the Premier League starting game of, and Mohamed Salah was again man of the match for Liverpool. Arsenal took on Wolves at the Emirates with a goal and assist from Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka. It was a good match. Arsenal really dominated it. The goals came the first goal came in the first half. The second goal was a late goal by Bukayo Saka around 75th minute, which was assisted by Kai Havertz. Bukayo Saka was awarded man of the match. Now let's look at Everton. Everton had a tricky match where Joelinton scored them at the 45th minute, but they had a red card in the game at a 28th minute, and they played almost the rest of the game at 10 men. Isak had a wonderful assist on the game, to which Joelinton scored. Isak was given the man of the match for the Newcastle Southampton. Now let's check out Chelsea versus Man City. Now this game at Stamford Bridge started off well, with both the sides looking pretty even, although Manchester had more of the ball, but Chelsea were there, they were defending well. Now let's look at Chelsea versus Man City. The game started off pretty well, where both the teams were having a good hold of the ball, with Manchester City having more of the ball, but Chelsea looked good at counter-attacks. They were giving the balls to the wide wingers, and it was helping them in transition for counter-attacks. But then Haaland scored the goal, which was a brilliant header from him, and then in the next goal came from Kovacic, a previous Chelsea player, and that was a superb goal with an outside of the box finish from Kovacic. But one thing that really amazed me was, both the defensive midfielders of Chelsea didn't even try to foul him, bring him down so that he couldn't take a shot. So that really amazed me in one way or the other. The other thing that amazed me was they didn't have Modric, they didn't have Sterling. Sterling was not even in the substitutes, and Modric was not even brought out. They did bring on Pedro Neto, and he did try a couple of moves, but it didn't help Chelsea, and at the end the game resulted with a 2-0 loss to Chelsea, Haaland being the man of the match. The last Big Six game that was played was between Leicester City and Tottenham. That was on Monday, with both of the teams scoring one goal each and ending the match in a draw, with Jamie Vardy being back in the Premier League and scoring as he comes back, and providing the much needed goal for Leicester City after Pedro Porro had already scored for Tottenham. So the game resulted in a 1-1 draw. Now let's look at some of the crazy things and stats that happened in match week 1 of the Premier League. Jamie Vardy was back, and he reminded the Spurs fan that he has a Premier League trophy with Leicester City and they have none, and that was really good to see. Jamie Vardy, with full of Red Bull, scored the opening goal for Leicester City, and the game ended it 1-1. We saw James Milner made his Premier League debut in 2002 when Brighton coach Hurzel was just 9. He has now appeared in 23 Premier League seasons, the most of any player. Erling Haaland was back at his scoring form. Haaland became the first player ever to complete just 3 passes whilst playing 90 minutes under Pep Guardiola. In 100 games for City, he now has 91 goals and 15 assists. That is an unbelievable stats. Mohamed Salah was also back in scoring terms. Mohamed Salah now has the most game week 1 goals, 9, and goal involvements 14 in Premier League history. He has got 300 goal involvements for Liverpool in 350 games. Ipswich Town Al Hamadi became the first player from Iraq to play in the Premier League, with Iraq becoming 124th country represented by a player in the competition. And our Rolls-Royce defender William Saliba is the fastest player to reach 50 Premier League wins in Arsenal's history in 66 games. He has a 75.8 win ratio with the Gunners. Aston Villa won away at West Ham in the Premier League for the first time since 2011. It took them 10 games and 13 years to do it. Manchester United has won the most opening games of any team in the Premier League history, that is 22, with Zerski opening the scoring for them and the match ending with a 1-0 victory to Manchester United. This was one of the funny things that happened over the weekend, where Cucurella initially, after Spain won the Euro, he said something regarding Haaland, where he said that Haaland would be trembling to see him as Cucurella is there. But Erling Haaland, when he was asked to respond on this, he said that Cucurella is a funny man. Last season he asked for my shirt, and this summer he sings a song about me. This was during the match between Arsenal and Wolves and Newcastle and Southampton. Now can you tell me which one of these would have resulted in a red card? Can you guess it? So the one on the lower section on the Newcastle was the one which was given a red card, and the top one, it was not even checked properly. There was not even a yellow card given to the player, where he absolutely choked Kai Havertz and still managed to be on the game without any cards. I am not sure about how VAR works or how the referees see the replays, or if they even do see these kind of things properly, but at least it should have been a yellow card, because he properly choked him, and he choked him for at least close to 3-4 seconds. But still, we cannot do anything. The VAR thinks not a card. The referee didn't give anything, the VAR didn't intervene, and the player was let go. Now let's talk about some transfers. Merino looks closer than he was 1 month back, closer than he was last week, and closer than he was yesterday. So the closeness is getting close, guys. I'm not sure what else to say, just that it is informed that he might have a medical this week, and he was not even on the bench for Real Sociedad's game this week. So the Real Sociedad president has confirmed that his clubs is in talks with Arsenal over the transfer for Mikel Merino. He has also hinted that Mikel Merino wants to move as soon as possible. So let's see about this. I'm really hopeful that we will get this transfer done before we play the match this week. Let's see. But we are close, guys. We are close. Definitely closer. Manchester United are also linked with many players. One of them is Ugarte. Now, it is said that Manchester United are working on a loan with an obligation to buy for Manuel Ugarte. Negotiations to continue with this formula as Jorge Mendes leading talks with Paris Saint-Germain. Ugarte wants United, pushing a lot after personal terms have already been agreed in July. Now, Panathinaikos in advanced talks with Manchester United to sign Pellistri on permanent transfer. This is not finished yet, but negotiations are going as Pellistri could leave Manchester United in the next few days. Now, this is a keeper that is linked with Arsenal, and this is all over the transfer market right now, and it looks like as soon as Aaron Ramsdale leaves the club, this is what will be happening. So Arsenal have already reached a verbal agreement with Spanish goalkeeper Joan Garcia on personal terms. He is the priority target for Arsenal to replace Aaron Ramsdale if he leaves in the final 10 days. Espanyol are aware that Arsenal are interested, but there is no official bid yet. Depends upon Ramsdale's departure from Arsenal. Now, there was already one offer turned down for Eddie Nketiah from Marseille, and there are still talks about them with Nottingham Forest. So it is said that Nottingham Forest have sent bids for both Santiago Jimenez and Eddie Nketiah. Initial proposals were rejected. I think it was the initial proposals for Nketiah around 25 million euro mark, which Arsenal have rejected. They want something close to 30 to 35 million euro. Now, Newcastle will end up signing only one striker, but talks continue on both sides to make the final decisions. This is the hottest topic right now, where João Felix is back to Chelsea. The deal is in place with Atletico Madrid and his agent Jorge Mendes. Contract is up till June 2030. They give such a long contracts, and that persuades the player to join the club. I'm not sure how good these long contracts are, but for Chelsea, it seems to be working absolutely perfectly well. So the contract is till June 2030 plus an option for João Felix, as travel and medical tests have been booked for the next 24 hours. Gallagher to Atletico Madrid and João to Chelsea. These are both happening right now, where Chelsea are trying to offload Conor Gallagher too. It came off yesterday, where it seems like Gundogan is not part of Barcelona's structure for this year, and they want to offload him. There were numerous clubs that were linked with him from Saudi as well, but it seems like he might have a chance to come back to Pep Guardiola and join Manchester City, where it is said that Pep Guardiola has already approved Ike Gundogan's return to Manchester City. Pep wants Gundo back, as talks are now taking place with his camp. First contract maybe yesterday. Decision up to Gundogan, as he has proposals from Saudi, Qatar, but Man City are also into it. Now for an Arsenal to sign a keeper, we need to upload Aaron Ramsdale, and Arsenal have been working on it. There have been some offers for Aaron Ramsdale, but not in the concrete pricing that Arsenal would like to have and then sell the player. But Wolves have made a proposal to sign Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal. Initial loan with an obligation to buy would cover the majority of the 26-year-old goalkeeper wages. Now it looks like this is about to happen, but let's see how it goes. We have only 10 days remaining in the transfer market, and things will pick up pace now. There was one interesting thing that happened during the weekend, where Chelsea's agent and group were informed that Sterling's agent and team came out and publicly said that he was ready, fully fit. Still, he was not selected for the Chelsea's game against Manchester. They said that initial talks were that he was in the plan for Chelsea Football Club and he would be playing day in, day out, but he was not even used, not even selected, not even on the bench. And when asked with the manager, they said that they are talking, they are in the plans. So I'm not sure how that is going internally. It seems like Chelsea do want to offload some players, and Sterling might be one of them. Now, if I understand things correctly, Chelsea's game was in Manchester City. Chelsea really had some very good chances, but Nicolas Jackson couldn't convert one of them. I think apart from maybe Cole Palmer in the making, Sterling is the only world-class player that they had. And in the last match they played at the Etihad, Sterling was the one who scored the goal for them. So not playing Sterling in their one of the most important games for them, it doesn't suit me or the Chelsea FC scoreline. But again, it's a decision on Chelsea, and let's see what they do. Now let's look at my fantasy Premier League team's performance. I think apart from Quanch, Eze and Bruno Fernandes, I think if Quanch would have played the full game, Eze's free kick would have not been disallowed and Bruno Fernandes would have taken his chances, I think my score would have been really better. But still, I'm really happy with 72 points, and let's keep it going. I might have to tweak a few changes, but I will let you know. And if you think I should change any player or maybe add somebody, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to make those movements. So that's all for today's episode of Football Pundit. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more football insights and discussion. See you next time.